all heard the discussions around work-life balance and how to be both amazing parents and incredible CEOs, wonderful spouses, and hard workers. But what if we've been approaching the issue of work-life balance completely wrong? As I've mentioned before, I'm primarily a life coach, and specifically I help people who are recovering from narcissistic abuse. One of the first things I need my clients to understand when they begin working with me is that the starting point for both them and the narcissist were completely different points. It's as if one was starting at one end and the other was starting at the other end, and they are looking at something in the middle, but from two completely different perspectives, and therefore there was no way that these two people were working toward the same end goal. Obviously, that's a very simplified way to look at the relationship and a very serious mental disorder, but if we don't go back to the very beginning of what happened during the initial stages and setup of the relationship, everything else is not going to make sense. When someone's in a relationship with a narcissist, it feels like at the beginning they both wanted the same things. They were both headed in the same direction. They were working towards a common goal. But when they understand that they were never at the same starting point, and so it was impossible for these two futures to ever work together, whether that person they were with was a narcissist or not, it can be easier for them to understand why the relationship turned out the way it did, and then why they hold on to their perspective so strongly that somewhere along the way things just went wrong. I want to propose that something very similar happens with a lot of entrepreneurs specifically, but people in general when it comes to the concept of work-life balance. I, for one, think that this is nothing more than a distraction to keep people from pursuing their goals. I think whoever coined this phrase, work-life balance, wanted to create a sense of normalcy for not pursuing your dreams and the things that set your soul on fire to the absolute extent that's possible. In other words, the traditional approach has been one like I just described to you that my clients have. One is on one side and the other is on the other side, and hopefully they just work themselves out. Balance. The issue is that trying to maintain a sense of balance doesn't allow for things like obsession, which I've already discussed in a previous video, and why this ingredient is necessary for any successful startup. But more importantly, this concept has you exerting energy on trying to remain in a balanced state as opposed to working towards what you actually want. Before you start a business, you should have a very clear understanding of how you want this business to fit into your life eventually. As you start the planning process, you should back plan and know exactly how much time and money it will cost you every step of the way. Of course, there's room for adjustment, but the plan will have that room built into itself. Even at the very beginning of a business, you need to already understand the roles and responsibilities that you have in your life prior to the business. If you're married or if you have children, if you need to be working a 9 to 5 while you get your business up and running, these things need to play a role or a factor in your time budget and in your money budget for your business. So for example, let's say that you work from home for your normal 9 to 5 job, which you were going to keep as you start working on setting up your business. You should know how much time you need to dedicate each day and how long it will take you at that dedication amount to have a business that is up and running so that you can leave your 9 to 5. So let's say you work from home 9 to 5. Maybe you want to dedicate 2 hours prior to starting your job to working on your business every day. So from 7 to 9, you're working on your business. You need to work that out with your spouse or your children if you have them, and what this looks like for you guys as a family. Maybe your spouse agrees that for the next 4 months, you can dedicate these 2 hours before work to starting your business, and your spouse will drop off the kids at school, or they will get the kids ready for school, or whatever the case may be. Maybe your kids are homeschooled, so maybe during your lunch hour, you can dedicate that time to having lunch as a family because maybe you can't have breakfast with them in the morning, or maybe you'll miss dinner with them in the evening. Find ways to integrate your personal life into your business. When you view your business at war with your personal life, this will not only leave you frustrated and in more conflicts with your friends and family, but ultimately, that job you're starting loses its luster. One of the things that I found for me is that I can really feel the grace on building seasons. And when I have that momentum, I let my friends and family know that, hey, I need to be building my business right now. So one Sunday a month after church, I'll go out to eat with y'all. Or one night a month, I'll have dinner with you. But besides that, I really need to be working on my business. This works out well for me since I already have other businesses that I need to keep my dedicated times for. However, I've integrated this into my life by planning ahead when I'm going to take vacations. Before, I used to have to work all the time, even when I was on vacation. But now I know when I need to work and I plan accordingly. So when I'm on vacation, I'm working a maximum of 1 hour a day, and that's by design. This is the 5th year that I've been a coach, so it took me all these 5 years essentially in order to get to a place where I'm able to do this now. But for me, being all in at work when I'm at home and then being all in with vacation mode or being present with friends and family when I'm with them has worked out well for me. I think the most important part of understanding work-life integration is 2 things: boundaries and buy-in. Obviously, you will need to have boundaries for yourself. You need to learn how to dedicate just as much energy and effort into your business as you do your family, and vice versa. But with a little dedication and discipline, this will be a natural and easy transition. One of the things that I do for myself is that I have a calendar of the tasks that I need to get done that's always before me. So before I go on a vacation or before I'm getting ready to go see my family or friends, even if it's just for an afternoon, I remind myself that I have a plan to get all of the work done and that I need to be present just as I am for my business when I'm with my family or friends. And this simple act of reminding myself and reassuring myself that I am fully capable of getting the work done in the time that I have allotted for it really gives me the permission, so to speak, that I need in order to be fully present when I'm not doing my work. And buy-in comes from those you love and who want you to succeed. If you have a family, you want to include them in what you're doing. Let them know why you are doing these things and how this will benefit you and them later. Try not to shut the door completely on your work when you're with your family unless that's something that you and your spouse have already agreed upon beforehand. The more you can include your family or friends in what you are building, the more buy-in they will have into the end result. They will want you to be successful, and you never know what kind of opportunities including them could bring you. Maybe they remember that they have a great connection who could actually help you progress even faster by introducing you to. By integrating your work into your personal life, you not only have a greater support system, but you feel more seen and heard, you have buy-in from those who are closest to you, and you actually have the potential to fast-track your growth. Trying to maintain a balance of working life, again, will cause you to feel like your energies are divided in 2 different directions as opposed to feeding yourself as a whole being. Sometimes what we need is to understand that there can be another perspective on the situation and that a balance isn't necessarily the healthiest thing for us, the success of our businesses, or our families. When I can easily shift my energy, time, and attention into the various areas of my life, I will feel less pulled on, dragged down, and ultimately more fulfilled. Human beings are extremely dynamic, and we were created to do multiple things. I certainly believe in monotasking, but trying to pigeonhole yourself so far down into a niche that doesn't allow you the freedom of expression in other areas of your life won't serve you. So I hope this video has given you another perspective on the way that you approach the idea of your work life and your personal life. And if you want to see if your business idea is even worth pursuing in the first place, then I want you to check out this video next and see if you have a good idea or an actual opportunity.